and the effectiveness of the SAT and how it affects students' feelings of self-worth. So this is the authentic prompt, and in this prompt we discussed how today's commercialized society affects teenagers. And today a lot of young people spend a lot of time debating what products and brands are real and which ones are fake. And we also discussed the stigma attached to purchasing these knockoffs.
Okay, so right here you can see this is more of the main page of the website. On the left-hand side, you have our writing, where we are also writing to the authentic prompt, and we're just sharing our own thoughts and ideas. And on the right-hand side, you have excerpts of how other users have contributed to the website and what they think about authenticity. Now we have a sample response of what one person contributed on the website about authenticness. He writes, "I can remember as a kid telling my dad that I wanted a certain pair of shoes, say a pair of basketball shoes, despite the fact that I didn't play basketball. Why? To be cool. He would ask me if that was the reason, and I would deny it. He would then ask why I wanted those shoes, and I'd be unable to answer, because the real reason was to be cool."
And so we're going to show a video that is a compilation of excerpts from the authentic prompt, and the voices are myself and Eugene.
If you think about it, logos have a huge impact on society and on ourselves. For example, we unconsciously call cotton swabs Q-tips, lip balm chapstick, adhesive bandages Band-Aids. The list will go on and on.
Louis Vuitton, Apple, yes, Mercedes, Nike, we all know these names. It was the quality of their product that shot them into fame, but now it is their logo that is a major selling point. Why else would somebody pay $150 or more for a bunch of L's and V's on a purse, especially one that isn't even the real deal?
When my mom asked me if I wanted to shop at Old Navy, I told her the same thing. None of the other girls shopped there. I didn't care if the shirts looked the same, or were even cuter. I wanted to be able to say, I got this shirt from Abercrombie & Fitch.
What is someone who follows trends instead of setting their own, trying to accomplish by buying overpriced brand name merchandise when they know that the same thing can be bought for a cheaper price but with a different company? Continuing with the example of clothing, isn't the purpose in the end just to clothe oneself, to have some protection from the elements and cover up the body? It's the logo that brainwashed us.
Hell, it even brainwashed me.
Now I'd like to introduce you to one of my very close friends and a very consistent member of the Reflectual community, Max Chet.
Yeah, so like he said, I did do this blogging thing a lot. Well, actually, every single response that every prompt he put up, he would tell me, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go do this right now. And I definitely thought it was definitely very useful because not only did it provoke thoughts for myself, and I was able to, contemplate these issues and write about them, which helped me clarify my thoughts, but I also got to see what other people thought about them. And, I could read other people's prompts and say, oh, no, this dude's wrong, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. Or I could say, oh, this person makes sense, I think that's right, too, maybe that'll impact my life in some way. And so just with all of this, I think it really helped me just clarify my own feelings on this, whereas normally if you don't have to respond to a prompt and you just it's just there. But if you're forced to respond to it, you have to clarify to put it in words, and it helps make it more concrete, and you can figure out how to do something with it and say, this is what I feel about this subject, this is how it's going to affect my life, this is what I can do with it. And I think the internet aspect was actually very helpful just because it was online, so you didn't have to use your real name, you didn't have to show your face, and you could just use a username. And you could tell who some of the people were because you might be familiar with the username, but for the most part it's pretty anonymous, right? So I feel like people would be more willing to write simply because they wouldn't have to be so connected with what they write, so there would be less fear of people saying, oh, you're totally wrong, and then being made fun of at school or something because of that. And I just think it's helpful in general because I feel like as teenagers, we don't often think about things like the whole logo and brand names or the SAT. We don't question whether or not they're useful or relevant to our lives. And I think really by doing this, Eugene and Lonnie have really helped provoke thought in a lot of people, and it just, I think, has been overall a good experience for a lot of people just because it made them think about certain aspects of their lives for the first time.
Okay, so I mean, making this project work was a lot more difficult than it sounds. You know, like running a website, a lot of it took a lot of like hard work and just getting down and doing it. But one of the big problems we had was in communication and teamwork. We would have to be, you know, calling each other all the time, emailing each other, sending text messages, you know, whatever it takes to like move the project forward. You know, a lot of times we just have to just keep talking about, you know, new ideas. What do we want to do with the project? Where are we going? And the other part that was a really big obstacle for us was getting people on the site, getting people to go to our website, you know, getting people just to like look at, you know, what we've written and to respond thoughtfully. I mean, that takes a lot of time, and you know, we're all busy.
So some of the things we learned were time management skills, because we've had to balance FLI responsibilities with schoolwork, jobs, and sports. And this is important in the professional world where we'll have to balance our personal lives with our work lives. We've also learned confidence because there's been a lot of public speaking in this, in the FLI projects, and including in the pitch-a-thon and in events such as this. And we also learned how to take action, because we had to go into Albany High and talk to our friends and talk to people we didn't even know and tell them about the site and get them to come and join. And it's been a continuous process, and it's demanded a consistent effort on our part to keep it up.
Yeah, so we're always looking for more ways to improve our website, to make it better as best it can possibly be. And so if you guys have any, you know, ideas for new prompts to explore, or if anyone just wants to like contribute to the website, feel free to contact us at reflectualblog@gmail.com, and we'd love to take your suggestions.
We'd like to take this time to thank our FLI guides and our groups for helping us overcome all the obstacles we face.
I'd also like to take this time to thank my personal mentor, Cynthia Ney, who ignited my passion for computer science and in web development. And she was also my instructor at a summer course at UC Berkeley, which taught me this.
I'd like to thank Jeff Castle, who is the video production teacher at Albany High School, and he helped me by giving me tips on editing and giving me feedback on the videos that I've made so far for this project, and also by giving me a lot of time after school to work on these projects. If you'd like to see more student writing and do a fun blogging activity, our station is right over there. And thank you all for coming and supporting FLI.